Hello, guys. Welcome to the Neutral Table. Today, we will be discussing 3 underrated characters in Naruto. I have Jesus here to start us off with his first pick.
My first pick is Haku. You guys remember Haku, right?
Yes.
Probably like the
Yes.
first saga ever. The reason I think he's underrated is because he's the one that kind of started the belief that Naruto has now, and what he went with. You know, like the fight for who you find precious in your life. You know, that's what Haku started. Because Naruto at first was like, I just want to be Hokage. I want to be respected. He didn't really think about it. I don't know if you guys remember that episode where he was in the woods training, and that's where Haku finds him. And he's like, "Oh, why do you want to get stronger?" He's like, "Oh, because I want to be respected." Yeah, but like, you don't have anyone precious to you. He's like, "Oh, I never really thought of that." And then Haku doesn't tell him that he's that, but like he had Zabuza as his precious thing. So then Naruto, that's where he builds up. That's why I love Haku. Not only that, but he's also a little like broken with the crystal ice mirrors. You know, he was pretty strong, the Kekkei Genkai, all that, and just his design overall was really cool. I really hated it that he only came out for 20 episodes, but that's why I think Haku's really underrated.
20? It was probably even less than that.
It was less than that, but it sucks because he brought so much to the story as a whole.
I think that whole arc was awesome. Like when they were climbing
Yes.
trees and stuff. Like they stopped doing stuff like that in Shippuden, and I loved that. But yeah, Haku was.
Haku was
broken.
so sick.
I think Haku did its part. I just feel like more of the underrated happens where it's like, oh, nobody remembers where all that like came from, or like the morale, like all that. Like it's just like cool. Like Haku did all that, and then that was it. But when you're first watching it, it's pretty impactful, and I feel like it served its purpose. Like both Zabuza and Haku, I can just put them both together.
Yeah, I really like your point that you were making about how Haku really is the one that started out with, fight for what you believe in,
Yeah.
fight for what matters to you. I didn't think about that part.
Yeah.
The other part, like, everyone, like, if you think of Haku, it's like, oh, the dude with the
The mask!
Genkai
Oh, his
with the
mask was
ice.
so cool!
Yeah. And, like, that part was, like, so cool, but then there was so much more to that as you see, where it's like, oh, where did that come from? In retrospect, it came from there.
Yeah, I have like I don't know if you remember when Naruto fought Gaara,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like crawling to him. He remembers like Gaara, oh, he's just like me, and then Haku is like, whoa, just him out of nowhere. Because Haku, Gaara, and Naruto in a way are all connected because they had horrible childhoods, and they all have different upbringings and beliefs. But Haku kind of made Naruto believe that, and now Naruto made Gaara and a lot more characters throughout the series.
An anime character with a sad childhood?
That's weird.
That's a lot. But we actually
But you know
do
what I
have a lot
mean, as in the
Naruto.
story. In the story, Haku's the one that kind of gave that belief to Naruto in the first place. That's why.
And it was done as a villain. And, like, I mean, well...
Well, he wasn't really
He
a
was-
villain.
Yeah.
Because he would be like, hey, like he was like, I don't take it personally, but I have to fight for my dream too.
Zabuza was the villain. And even then
Then
it's kind of
he-
like,
No,
he's
I
just
mean-
kind of a vigilante.
Yeah, I'm just
Towards
doing it
the
for
end,
money.
He's
he
a
was,
bad guy, though.
he was kind of
He
doing his
is bad.
job, what he wanted to do.
Fabian, your pick?
My pick, my first pick would probably be Konohamaru. I feel like the series started off with like, kind of like, oh, maybe he's gonna be like the rival to Naruto or something, or like maybe the kid that's like gonna follow up with the whole Naruto trend. But no, he just kind of like floated around the whole series from what I can see. I was like, maybe in Shippuden, and it's like, oh, not even. So it's like, and on top of that, he's the grandson of the third Hokage. You would expect him to be better at just like everything, which he is a decent like ninja in like the Naruto universe, but not nowhere near as like good or powerful as the main characters or just even like side characters to the main characters.
He's not your Sasuke level or like.
Yeah, and he came off like he was gonna be your Sasuke level with like that whole rivalry of like, oh, we're gonna see who becomes Hokage between the two of us, and then that never went anywhere.
I'm glad he never came to fruition, if I'm being honest. I never really was a fan. In fact, when he killed a Pain, I was mad.
that was a little too much.
I was like, what? I'm like, you're going to tell me that everybody else couldn't do it, but this little guy who just
you
learned
just
Rasengan
have a
could do it?
Rasengan, yeah. So
Yeah,
weird.
got gifted in. It's like, I don't know. I'm kind of with you on this one. Like, I think a little bit, underrated because he's the son of the Hokage, right? Or grandson, rather. But
Yeah.
no, in terms of likability, I don't know. I was annoyed by
Oh.
him. He was an annoying punk where it's like, look at me, look at me. It's like, dude, we already have one of you. Like, get out of here. No offense to him.
I mean,
But-
no, I mean, I'm not a big fan of the character. I don't love the character, but I just feel like it was mapped out to be something else that
Yeah.
it never became.
Yeah, that kind
I
of.
mean, did we dodge a bullet? We won't know.
I think
we did, but I don't know.
he's like, I'm gonna be a Hokage, and I'm like, thank God there's Naruto.
Dude, I used to think like it was gonna be either Naruto versus Sasuke or Naruto versus Konohamaru for the last battle.
No way.
Yeah, well, back in the day, they tricked me that good, dude.
You
No
think about like the first 3
way.
episodes,
Well,
like
'cause
your
in the
rival
first-
comes in
the
quick.
second episode's like, we're gonna be rivals. You're my eternal rival. I'm like, that's the start of something. But...
No, I laughed when I saw that. I was like, you wish. Like, I can make comparisons to the scene, but no, Konohamaru.
I mean, Naruto wasn't that powerful at that point. I'm talking about like the first 3 episodes. Like Naruto wasn't that good, so the assumption was there where it's like it could be, you know, maybe he'll power up with him.
No, he was a punk wearing a scarf hiding around.
Bang.
My first pick is probably one of my most basic, but Jiraiya. And I know that's hard to say, that how is Jiraiya underrated in any way? Because, I mean, in terms of battle, Itachi was scared. He even said himself that if they fought, it would be even. And Itachi, I think, is like even after Shippuden ends, one of the strongest characters in the entire show. But I just think Jiraiya, he went out like a beast to a point. I would have wanted a little bit more. But that was the saddest death, even after, I don't want to spoil it, but Neji. But I was just wanting more, and I feel like that's why that character was so great, is because you kept wanting more, but you weren't even disappointed that he died. It was just like, I wanted more Jiraiya. Like, Jiraiya was there during the adventure, and he was annoying, and he was a jerk kind of the whole time, but you just fell in love with him.
He was a jerk.
To Naruto?
He was
just
a jerk.
ditched him. He's like, go train in the forest, I'm going to sleep with these women and gamble.
He
never
was a
slept
jerk.
with women.
He
was-
researched.
He
was-
researched. He was writing a book.
It was only for
Hold
research
up.
purposes.
I love him.
He was a jerk, but I don't think he never came off as annoying.
No.
No, he was,
Did I
I
say
love
annoying?
Jiraiya.
Yes.
Yeah, you said annoying.
From Naruto's perspective.
Like,
I love him.
that astonishes me that you're like, he's underrated. Like, what you're saying, like, even though I wanted more of him, and he was BA in fighting, he had a cool character, all this, we saw a lot of him, I wanted to see more, but no, he's underrated. I don't feel that way for him. He's like, I'd shed a tear when he bit the dust, and it's like,
I wanted you to be
Well,
sobbing.
did anyone feel like cheated when he died? I'm like, oh, he died like that, like, because he was like, he clearly beat him, but the reason he died was because he lacked knowledge.
Yeah,
I was
no,
like,
but-
come on.
knowledge is power.
He did serve his purpose, and it's literally like what sparked Naruto's flame to like overcome pain in that battle, which is all like he literally served his purpose, which I don't think he was underrated in that sense. Like, no, they actually gave him a good story. Like, they build him up as like, cool, this is like Naruto's master, this is who he trained with, and it's just part of character development for Naruto,
Yeah.
which he did serve that.
I don't know if you guys felt the same when you were watching the fight for like the first time, but like towards the end, I was like, no, please no.
Which one? The
Jiraiya
pain?
versus where it's like, no, he can't go, and then it's like, oh my word.
He did go.
And then like that feeling, and it's just like thump thump, and then you're just like, no.
Well, what really got me was when he was like, oh, my life was pretty worthless. I was like,
Frog at the bottom
yeah.
of the well. Saddest
Going
episode.
down. But then it wasn't, because then he thought about Naruto in that moment. He's all like, well, I helped pretty much the main character, and he kind of knew that Naruto was going to do a lot.
but it's still, the feels were pretty rough.
Oh, yeah, I mean, and when you're
The next
watching
season,
it,
he's writing like in heaven the book, and he closes it, and I'm like,
yeah.
Open it up.
so sad. All right, Brax, your
Hold
first pick.
We're gonna get a moment of silence for Jiraiya here.
All right,
All
Brax,
right.
your first pick.
So going with, I guess, we'll stick with the power theme. I'm gonna say Itachi was underrated. Now there's gonna be a lot of people that are gonna be flaming on now. It's like, hey, what are you doing saying Itachi's underrated? Like, he, according to this one, he's pretty overpowered, and I'd agree. Itachi's pretty amazing, but the reason he's underrated is because you don't know his story until way later into the series. And until then, it's like, oh, I don't know why he's just kind of a villain antagonizing Sasuke for whatever reason. And then as you learn more about it, it's like, oh my word, he did it for a reason. He did it for this. He did it for that. And then it's like, oh my word, no, he meant so much. If it wasn't for him, a lot of things wouldn't come to fruition. And so then, underrated until you learn that. And so then for the village, like in canon, I would say he was super underrated. Like, no one appreciated him. Like, they're all just like, he was a dick who did this stuff, and they never knew why.
Well, that's the thing about him. They can't know why. That's the thing that sucked about that. Because at first it's like, yeah, he killed his family. At first I was like, damn, that guy's the biggest villain ever. Who does that? And then there's that scene where he's like decapitating, beheading the mom and dad. And it's like, I don't think I can do that. Because a lot of times I feel like people with anime, You try to put yourself in some people's shoes,
Mm-hmm.
and you're like, I can't kill my parents. And then your brother's watching, like, but then it gets cleared, and I was like, that is true. Like,
And so like
poor Itachi.
that kind of sacrifice, I don't know that we'll ever, thankfully, know that kind of pain. But holy cow!
Well, I mean, you just see that same flashback over and over, but then like the more you get of it, you see him crying during it.
Oh, yeah.
He like turns away from Sasuke, and it's like, oh my god, like the perfect martyr story. Like I have nothing but good things to say about Itachi.
He was in the right? We all agree he was in the right doing that.
Yeah.
You have no choice.
Gotta stop the coup.
I mean, I don't think he was underrated too. Like, there is a fan base for that character. He's probably people's favorite Akatsuki member. But
Oh yeah.
yeah, because like you said, I mean, you kind of answered your own question. Like, was he underrated? Yeah, for years when the series was going on. At the end, probably not. Everybody loved him. Everybody shed out here for Itachi after that. Like, I don't know. I mean, he's a pretty good character. I don't think he's underrated though.
Jesus starting the second round.
Mr. Kabuto. If you guys don't know who that is, that was the guy with glasses, and then he became a snake, and pretty much one of the big three in the war, right? So it's like the big three. Yeah, I think he was super underrated. I think people would look at him as like, oh, he's just Orochimaru's lackey. But then he comes back and you're like, whoa, this guy's bringing everyone back from the death. And his backstory was like pretty cool, because we didn't get his backstory in Naruto. I was like, why is this guy so strong? I was like, and then you see that backstory and you're like, oh, I get it. He went through a lot of stuff. He also becomes good at the end, which I was like, whoa. I thought like, because Itachi puts him under that Genjutsu, where it's like,
Yeah.
and then he like overcame that.
He becomes the teacher or like the nurse or whatever for those kids.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
he overcomes that, and then he comes and helps bring back, who was it, Sasuke or no? No, it was Sasuke, right? When he was dying.
Yes.
Yes. So like in a way, he kind of helped save the world at the end, even though he started that war. He came back and was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I messed up, guys. Sorry." And he was a sage, like Jiraiya. That's a lot of points to that guy.
That's what I was saying. He kind of blew Jiraiya out of the water.
Yeah.
Because he did it quick. He came upon it randomly. The serpent or the snake sage like place. I forgot exactly.
It's like where Jiraiya went to.
Yeah.
But this is where he went.
Well,
yeah.
that's Mount Miyamoto or something like that. I don't know.
We're just call it Mount Snake or Snake's Den.
But I mean, even then, it still goes back to Itachi. Like he still was doing stuff after he died the second or third time. Is like crazy. But yeah, I think Kabuto is awesome as a villain.
Like,
Yeah, and he had a good redemption. I don't know what he's doing in Boruto because I haven't seen Boruto, but I know he's still around. So
I haven't seen Boruto either, but yeah, his arc was very cool. Watching him go from like this kind of lackey, kind of like, who the heck is this shifty guy?
he's just a
Like,
spy.
Hey, I got trading cards. You want to trade cards? I got stats. He was that guy.
He was the glasses guy. Like,
Yeah,
he was
like the
that
little,
guy. He made that.
I got stats on everyone. And then he actually grows into something that's like, oh, where's this going? Oh, he actually took himself a piece of the pie. And then,
Look
oh
at
my
him.
word, look at this guy. And then, yeah, redemption. I didn't expect the redemption part.
Yeah.
That was clutch.
Yeah, no, he went under the radar for the whole series. Even at the end, people still didn't know like his purpose, what he brought to the table, what he meant for the Naruto series. But like, he was there since like what, season 2 or 3?
The
Like,
tuning exams.
yeah, he was there
Yeah.
right
Who
from
would
the
have thought?
beginning.
And there he is at the end in the war, a sage.
Especially that he
This
looked like
guy survived?
he looked like a pushover at the beginning. Literally, one of his first scenes is him getting bullied about his cards. He looked like a pushover.
Well, he would have destroyed them, but
Oh yeah, he was
Yeah,
a
I mean,
ball baller.
yeah, no, he was. He was serving another purpose that nobody
Yeah.
knew at the moment.
Faving your second.
Shino.
Shino.
Just because right off the bat, he's like the quietest out of like the 9 rookies. He's just the quietest. But then you start seeing some of his powers where it's like, dude, he literally just destroyed this guy, especially in the tuning exam. He destroyed this guy's hands. And it was like, how did you do it? I was like, I just shot bugs at him. And he never expanded on his full power, in my opinion. And it's all like, I don't know, at one point I was like, dude, what if we get Shino versus Gaara, dude? Can he like get bugs up his like sand and like destroy his barrier? But we never see any of it. And then he just remains to be quiet throughout the whole series.
So, do you mind if I speak up first?
you go first, bro.
I'm gonna interject here. The reason I think so, or the reason I think he's underrated just in the show, is because they didn't know how to handle how overpowered he could have been.
Yes.
I think. Like, if you look at what he had, like, control over bugs, but not just bugs. Like, these are ninja bugs, because it's Naruto.
Yeah, they had
And
chakra stuff.
they-
They would
different-
suck chakra.
Yeah, they
different
take away
properties. Like, I
charge.
think he was too technical for the show for them to develop more. Because it's like, he's too much. I think he could take, like, literally just like, what happened to him? Oh, I sent a bug 2 months ago, and then bit them, and then they're dead. Like, he could do that. It's just like, what are you going to do about that? You can't write a show about that.
Yeah, I
He's
mean,
so good. So, Christian, or Bane, what were you
So,
gonna say?
by the way, that scene in the manga where he puts it in the guy's arm
Yeah,
is
they come on.
gruesome.
Yes, they explode,
They
right?
blow up the arm. They, like, tear it in half, kind of. It was, like,
Yeah.
insane.
and he was cold faced throughout the whole
Yes.
thing. He's like, I got him.
Well,
I like
because he has no
bugs.
personality. He's basically just a husk for the bugs. You find that out later, but
Yeah.
he's literally just the cocoon for all the bugs. That just,
Yeah, it
and
was
there's a family
Neji,
for it.
right?
Yep.
Neji with the Byakugan, who was like, oh,
Yes, he's like, that
God.
dude's all bugs. But, like, you see him, I loved all his fights against Kankuro, against that guy. And then, like, he misses out on the adventure to go get Sasuke. And it was kind of a joke, like, he's upset. And I'm like, but we're going to get to see him again.
No.
And then I'm waiting.
Yes.
And then I'm waiting.
They do that. They tease us. They're like, yeah, we need somebody. Oh, what about Shino? I will get it. No, he's actually too far. Yeah, let's just go with someone else.
He doesn't do any fights. Like, they progress him kind of as a character. Like, he's looking for bugs. And we're watching the people train. But, like, that's all I get.
We got
in
more
my
else,
opinion,
yeah.
he's one of the biggest underrated characters, especially because he's like with like the 9 rookies, which like they all kind of get their story in a way. They all kind of have their personality, except that guy.
Well, no, he got the search for the elephant beetle, right? Or whatever that thing was.
That's
Yeah,
it.
I'm sure that's filler. I'm pretty sure that was filler.
But do not talk about filler on this table.
This is the neutral table.
But like that's what I'm saying. That's the only credit he got was like we need to do something with him. All right, let's have him go find a beetle. And
In
then that
filler,
was- yeah, but that's because they didn't understand.
they didn't even give him an
They-
Akatsuki member. At one point, like all the new generation of Naruto, like they're fighting like Akatsuki members. Like Shikamaru got Hidan. Like everybody got one guy, and like they couldn't even give him one of those guys, especially with his power. Where it's like, oh, dude, he could have maybe matched someone in the Akatsuki's. Like,
Okay. So one question while we're still on Shino.
Uh-huh.
Shino, we've already talked about how I think he's overpowered and whatnot.
Yes.
Versus a single can of Raid. Who wins?
Shino.
Shino, because they're ninja bugs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good body.
yeah.
There's not enough. And plus, they're like reproducing, I'm pretty sure, inside of him, so they just keep multiplying. No, but
Holstead.
he's just like coming out.
You're gonna
You
run
know-
out of the can. You're gonna run out
You
of
wanna
the
know a
can.
fun fact about Shino? Shino in Spanish means Chinese. I thought that was pretty cool.
Fun fact of the day.
So that was a trick question. The proper answer was his bugs actually eat poison, and he had poison immunity. That's how overpowered he was. He can't even lose to a can of Raid that's meant to kill him.
Poor Shino.
Anyway,
Bang.
but he doesn't matter.
So going off of what Fabian said, not every of the 9 get their own Akatsuki member, but someone who does is Shikamaru. And I think early on, Shikamaru is the most entertaining person to watch his fights. I love, even if it's like nothing happens, like his first fight in the tuning exams, don't even know the girl's name.
The sound girl.
Yes, the sound girl, and she was solid.
Yeah.
But he was just bored the whole time, and he beat her. And then Tamari was broken, and then he beat her. Well,
He quit.
he didn't beat her, but he was
Yeah.
gonna beat her. And he was just entertaining, and it was funny because he was lazy, but he was smart, and you would see him thinking. But after
You see him
Naruto was just kind of like,
He drops
where'd he
off.
go? And then he fights Hidan, and it's like cool. It's like, oh, he got revenge. It was a great revenge story. But then after that, it's like that is like the smartest guy in your entire village, except his dad probably,
Yes.
and debatably some others. But you're not gonna use him as much, like.
No, he's background.
Well,
right
Reina
now.
Shikacho, like, he is busted. His intelligence is too much for
They used him
anyone.
a little bit. Like towards
Yeah, they did
a
not
little,
use
like
him.
towards the war, like, hey, we should prepare this and that.
After his dad passed away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On to the next one.
But I mean, even then, like, I know I'm picking characters where like, they're not really underrated, but
Mhm.
I just think we could use them so much more. And I think Shikamaru.
Yeah, what you're like referring to is like you wanted them more screen time with them.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I feel that. I get that.
No, I agree. It's like, all right, he's smart. He has some cool mechanics. What are we going to do? Well, he's smart, so just throw him in the back with the nerds. He's going to be thinking for the rest of the series.
Just a
And-
big brain.
Which is literally a waste because in Naruto it's like about technique. It's not just
Yeah.
about your like
Like,
powers.
busted you are.
Yeah. It's not about how broken you are. It's like your technique. And like they explain it all with him, and it's like, oh, he used this. Like when he gets the little balloon thing with his shirt just to
That
get
was
the shadow.
so
nuts.
cool.
Just to extend that, like that's so cool.
And then it was only to extend her to put her in position for the hole. I was like, what?
And then
That's what I'm saying. The cleverness ran dry in Shippuden. Like they
Yeah.
were just like, let's make him busted. It's like no.
Yeah, they literally kind of became a Dragon Ball Z. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, let's just power up. Now we're flying. Now we're fighting. And
Their
it's like,
hand signs went from
So-
like this pace to like you can't even see it. They don't even do them anymore.
They would
don't
do
even
this
do
and a
them.
ball of energy would come out. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's Goku.
I don't know about that.
yeah, and a lot of that was lost in Shippuden to
And
Naruto.
so,
Like, Naruto
yeah, that's why I
Shippuden.
think Shikamaru didn't last, but specifically for that. They're just trying to make things more exciting, quote unquote. Art is an explosion and all that. Oh, but no, instead it's just no. He's too technical, too much to explain there. You know what? We'll give him a cameo for this to take him out. Or it's going to be cool, but no, that's it. Just his own little tucked away part.
Sadness.
It is
Rex?
sad. He was okay. So I'm swapping. I was originally going to talk about Ino and how I think her power was super underpowered or underused with the whole
You do 10-10.
10
Did I
10.
spoil it?
Oh, 10 10 2. I'm actually swapping.
Wait, there's a
for-
10-10 too?
I'm
The
actually-
better version.
I'm actually not doing her either.
Okay.
We're doing the teacher,
Who?
the elementary teacher. I don't know his name.
Iruka Sensei?
Iruka Sensei.
Iruka.
It's a good
Like, he's appreciated. We all like him. It's like, oh, it's Iruka. You know, Naruto goes back to him every little bit. But do we, as the viewer, appreciate him enough for what he's been through? Oh, heck no.
That is true.
He's a teacher for ninja toddlers. Like, you already hated toddlers, then misbehaving, whatever. But no. Now, you have to teach these that have powers. And they're going to try and stab you with knives. Like, he had to deal with Naruto. He had to deal with Konohamaru. It's... I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think Aruka was a lot of wasted potential early on, but later I just came to the conclusion I was like, this guy's a bitch.
Wait, he's
Like,
a tuning, right? He
He's
was
a tuning. I'm
Oh
like,
my
dude, Naruto
God.
would be wiping the floor with this guy because early on there's the first episode where like the guy with the huge shuriken and like he's kind of struggling to fight.
Mizuki, right?
Something like that.
Mizuki.
I'm not 100% sure. But it's like, oh, Aruka's going to be like a main part of the story, and you find out later that he just kind of sucks. You know?
Yeah.
Kakashi came and took his role.
No, see, that's what I'm saying. You're saying he sucks.
Yeah,
I'm saying
I'm agreeing,
it takes tuning or whatever. What was he?
Tuning.
Tuning level to teach ninja toddlers and to have the patience and understand to handle that kind. It takes a special person.
They're not that young. They're not. Toddlers are 2.
Why?
These
But
guys-
I know what you're saying because like Naruto is so close to Iruka. Like he had him as what the father in the wedding, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
yeah,
like-
I mean,
But like I
was
get
his
it,
dad.
but he was more connected to other characters from the show, you know, from what we saw.
Yeah.
But I guess we really didn't ever see.
Yeah,
I
there
know
was
what
no
you mean.
screen time for
There's
that.
no screen time. Like I get it, but like if Jiraiya was alive, would he have picked Jiraiya or?
I think he would pick Iruka.
See, because then it's so weird.
I think he picks Aruka, sadly, because I think
Over
I think-
Jiraiya?
I think Jiraiya's kind of his godfather figure. Like he's not necessarily. He was that to Minato, but he wasn't necessarily that to Naruto. He wasn't his dad. He was his grandpa. He was his
Okay.
teacher. He was like, but he was above like Kakashi
But-
in the sense that it's even a grandpa thing to that, where Kakashi's like the trainer dad and he's the trainer godfather.
Oh, Kakashi's more like the uncle. I would
Well,
say.
yeah, I'm just saying like if you were to put them all on the field, like
yeah, like
Jiraiya-
Iruka still would have been there. And yes, it's like pretty sad that we don't see any of that. Like, there's not a lot of interactions between Iruka and Naruto. at
yeah,
all.
to be like, whoa, so he's
Yeah.
like your father, like.
getting ramen every 4 seasons.
Yeah,
but-
like I get it. He blocked you from a shuriken. Cool.
that thing hit him like good though.
Yeah.
Where like
Good.
there wasn't even that much in him. Like it was just like the point. I'm like, you got lucky. You could have gotten sliced up, man.
Could have been a handicap.
That was a good pick,
That is a
Iruka.
good pick.
Iruka is, yeah.
All right, last pick.
I was gonna say Hedon, dude, because he's immortal and
Yeah.
then he can bring like a lot of weird. Like I think he can still come back if they dig him up.
Oh yeah,
But I'm gonna say the third Hokage.
you're wrong by the way.
I'm wrong.
They talked about how you die because he doesn't have nourishment.
Really, he could die of that?
What?
He
Malnourishment.
is,
That
yeah.
sucks. That's a bad way to go as a ninja.
Anyway, I think the third Hokage.
Third.
Yeah, dude, he was
Third.
so broken. When he fights Orochimaru, he's literally fighting the first and second Hokage at the same time. And yes, sure, we didn't know how broken they were gonna be, but like,
Yeah, I don't even think the writers knew how broken.
Well, the
it was.
designs for him are hilarious because
Oh,
they're
yeah.
not similar.
they're not. But like, it's still the first and second Hokage.
Yeah.
And the fact that he was taking both of them on, and Orochimaru on top of that, and he was old, so he wasn't at his prime. That man, and he had so much knowledge. He knew the Itachi thing. He knew everything. I think he just went. I don't know. I think they could have used him more, but I guess he did have to die. But I wanted to see more when he came back, you know, and the reanimation stuff. I feel like he should have talked more with Naruto. I would have loved a scene of him and Naruto
Yeah, they did
just
not
talking.
do that.
You know, because like he basically took care of him.
Yeah. Well, all the Hokage have their own like title, where the first one's the monster, the second one is like the master of it all, the third one's like the teacher or something.
The
like that.
professor.
Like, yeah, the professor. Like they all have their like titles like that, and I do think that like he was very underrated.
Yeah.
I couldn't respect him until Shippuden. You couldn't.
No.
Yeah, you
Not at
couldn't
all.
because you're like, who's this old fart?
Yeah.
Like, who cares?
You don't appreciate it.
With him, you get a lot of flashbacks. That's the thing. That's kind of what did him a bit justice, like the flashbacks. But like
he's
with
everywhere. He's in every important like moment in history. He's just there, and I think he was the strongest Hokage. Just on the fact that he took on the first and second while he was old, that says a lot.
Don't let that slide because of time.
All right,
Fabian,
It's for debate later.
not even close, but Fabian.
dude.
He was underrated though. So
He
I'll
was
agree
so
with you.
He was,
underrated.
but-
You show up, it's like, all right, who's the old man that's yelling at the protagonist here? I don't really care about him. It's like, oh, what the flip? What's he doing? So yeah.
Yeah.
He's like the fourth.
And then you
Go-
realize only two later, oh my word, no, he's actually doing stuff, kind of like Itachi
It
again.
looks like Bang wants to fight, but maybe on another
All right,
neutral
All right.
table we'll fight.
all right, Fabian.
So I had somebody else for the third pick, but I think Tsunade was a lot of like wasted potential. Because think about just Jiraiya and Orochimaru, and Tsunade. They are the three legendary Sani. We didn't really see any of that from Tsunade. Sure, she gets like fifth Hokage, but then she's just in the desk signing papers, rebuilding the village. But like in combat, we don't really see any of her. We don't.
She gets cut in half.
I was happy. I was happy with what we saw against Madara.
Yeah.
And like the whole like the diamond stuff and all that. I thought it was cool. I don't know if we needed that from her, to be honest. I feel like you needed the Naruto Sasuke dynamic with Jiraiya and Orochimaru, and it's like Sakura is kind of the Tsunade where it's like, I don't mind if she's
So
buying
her-
us
her-
signed papers.
Her destiny was already foretold, is what you were saying.
I mean, she was a huge part. She saved the village along with Naruto when Pain came.
She brought Rock Lee back.
Yeah, she
She
did a
saved
lot for
Naruto
the
when they were
village.
fighting in the beginning. It's like, who the heck are you? I'm a slug queen.
Well,
Yeah, she saved Jiraiya. She did a lot.
I mean, just compared to those three, though, she did get the least screen time
Yeah,
compared to
she
those
is.
three, and
Well,
she was like
that-
on par with them, well, like
like-
around there.
That's just how it is in Naruto. Like the girl's always a little more like than the two guys in the squads.
Like, yeah.
Yeah,
to
but see, it's
Fabian's-
prettictable. It's like
Fabian's
she's just
point,
Sakura.
It's like, oh, why did she matter? She's one of the legendary Sanin, and that they say that a lot. Where it's like, oh, I'm part of the Mighty Three.
Why did they become Sonic? Because they took on that one guy, Hanzo.
With the
Hanzo, yeah.
lizard.
They were the only ones that lived his like fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Right.
he was all poison or whatever.
Yeah, and he was like, no one lives the fight, but you three
The
will
Sonic.
shall now be known as the Sonic.
And then
I'm like, cool.
she lived off that title for the rest of her days.
Yeah,
I mean,
women.
She's
don't
still
get-
alive, right?
Yeah.
Yes, she is.
She's good. Grandma Tsunade.
All right, so for my last pick, I was thinking basically anyone from the Akatsuki we could do. Literally anyone. There's an argument for all of them. I was going to do Kankuro because I was feeling it. But now I'm going to switch it. I'm going to say Danzo.
Donzo. Good
Um,
choice.
Oh, that's
The other side of the coin.
Yes.
The third Hokage.
He's like the underworld.
The
He
dark
is-
tree.
yeah, he's
under
dark
the
side.
table.
And like you were talking about the third Hokage, and
Yes.
he's just the reverse of
Yeah,
that.
he's
And
literally
you
the other
see-
side.
Yeah, and you see the scenes where like he wanted to be that, but he still sacrificed himself. He's kind of seen as a bad guy for a little bit, and it makes sense because he's trying to like
Yeah.
overthrow and do his thing. But at the end, you realize that he wasn't really a bad
He
guy.
wasn't a bad guy.
He wanted the best, but he was like,
Bad
I
ways
mean, I
about
could get into
doing it.
One Piece, but he's like a Kainu in the sense where it's like, I forget what it is, but it's absolute justice. And it's
Oh, yeah.
any means necessary in terms of, I need to protect this village, and I need to do it any way possible. And I just feel like he was a little bit underrepresented. His powers were cool. I loved the fight with Sasuke. I think that's really underrated as well. But the character
Good
as a
fight.
whole, I think, is just pretty awesome. And I thought his whole story was great.
That fight with Sasuke was nuts. It's like, all right, old man, what do you got? And then,
I got all your family, bud.
Yeah, I
What's
got
up?
him right here. In his arm.
Shorty.
what do you mean? What do I have up my sleeve? Well, let's see.
I think this is your mom.
Yeah, that was the guy with the twitchy eye. Remember him?
Remember that neighbor you hated? I got him right here.
He was so broken now that I think about it.
Izanagi
He was so cool.
busted.
Izanagi's busted.
He went out quick though.
I mean, I think.
Well, he
what
was
it?
old.
In terms
That's the
of
thing, he
battle,
was old.
11 minutes.
In terms of battle, he went out quick.
Kinda. I mean, Sasuke at that point was on a rampage.
Yeah.
Plus, I mean, he got.
Well, he was
his
on
teeth
a raw,
on.
you know, he was on a raw.
That was unfortunate.
He was taking them
timing
all
for
out.
the old man.
He was like, "Daytime Itachi." It was next.
Yeah, it was next on
Bring
this
him
old
on.
geezer. Yeah, no, he got him on a hot streak before Danzu.
Wait,
never
did he
stood a
fight
chance.
Danzu before he fought Gaara in the Five Summit? Yeah, right.
No.
Yeah,
That was after.
At the bridge.
Wasn't it after?
that was after.
He was heading back. Yeah, and then Obito took out his 2 guys, and he put them in. And we can talk about this for.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he had Danzo by himself, and Toby was watching over the whole thing. So I didn't really feel like Sasuke was in that big a danger, but it was still really cool.
Didn't he summon an eagle?
He did a lot of stuff.
The elephant.
There was the elephant. There was a lot of stuff.
What a guy.
summoning.
No, that was funny because there's that one where like Kakashi shows up after. He's like, "I've been wanting to kill you," and Kakashi's just like, "Dude, I would wipe the floor
Yeah.
with you."
What's
Don't
going on with
even-
you, bud?
Don't even try.
Last pick, Brax.
All right, last pick. I think this one legitimately is underrated. Like some of them we can make arguments for. This one just purely is Shizune. Shizune, the one actually doing the paperwork for Tsunade.
The one actually doing the pig
Like-
girl.
Yes.
Pig girl.
That is the
Her
pig
and
girl.
her and her pig. She, like, if she wasn't there, speaking from like a more real world side of things, being in her position kind of now, if she didn't exist, they would have been screwed. I'm 100% sure. Like Tsunade, she was completely open. Like, I hate this. I don't want to do this stuff. And then it's like, all right, you have to sign this stuff. All right, fine, I'll sign it. The amount of work that it took to get that one piece of paper for her to sign probably was a few hours. And it's like, there's stacks of that and making sure everything runs to make sure that this person, when in doubt, can go fight and do their thing. It takes a lot of effort.
Dude, Shizune is like on the same level as the 4th Hokage and Kabuto, if you really think about it. They're like the right-hand man.
Yes.
What?
Yes.
Did you just wait in terms of power? What are you talking
No,
about?
no, just in terms of level-wise. Calm down.
Like,
but I'm
they
saying,
are
do you,
like
see,
the-
do you see all that
They
potential
are the
thrown
student,
away?
like the
Oh, yeah.
direct student.
Totally.
To the,
Well, I mean, I think you noticed that when she fought Kabuto, and you realized how broken Kabuto actually
Yeah.
was at the point, and she's like using her needles and stuff, and she's awesome. And
Yeah.
that's what I think. I mean, we could talk about how she like did help to keep the village in contact, but in terms of fighting ability wasted, she was busted.
Yeah.
She was really good.
Well, that-
She had a lot of techniques that were underused by a lot. Awesome.
You just don't see why, because she was doing paperwork.
Even during the war, wasn't she like the health manager or whatever it
Yes,
was?
yes.
It's like put her on the field, like she could do some.
What are y'all
damage.
doing? Yeah, but I
She
didn't
got
even think about that.
shikamaru'd into the back.
She got Shikamaru. Oh, that war.
Oh, that war.
Well, I think that about wraps it up.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
was about that time.
That's 12 characters for you that we think are underrated from the Naruto series. Let us know what you guys want to hear next time. Leave a comment, like, subscribe. Appreciate you guys. Have a good
Give us
one.
a share.
Yeah, let us know your underrated character
Yeah, why
down
not?
below.
See ya.
Peace.